the singular wisdom that will shift the course of your life. The problem with the self-help and self-development space is there's so much advice readily and available for people to consume. Although this is a great thing as it helps the people who are in need, it can also be overwhelming for individuals. And the self-help and self-development space is one in which people often mentally masturbate, as there is so much content on a particular topic to consume that you get so caught up in consuming it and try to, update yourself on all the information that you need in order to attain something or to, make change that you never end up actually applying what you learn. Which poses a question. If we were to filter down all the advice that exists in the self-development, self-help space into one singular piece of wisdom, what would it be? When I posed to myself this question, at first I thought, I know, it'd be being honest with yourself. And I thought about that for a little while, and I feel as if, yes, that is a pretty good option. However, being honest with yourself is almost a prerequisite to allowing yourself to have a transformative change, right? People can be honest with themselves what they want and still convince themselves that they're unable to attain it. So I don't think it'd be as transformative. Until I thought to myself, why I started this YouTube channel in the first place and why the name is actually KPOV. And then I realized the singular piece of wisdom that can transform an individual's life is perspective. Perspective, or POV, is the particular way in which somebody sees an experience. It's a particular way in which we perceive something, which dictates how we feel about it and the actions in which we take towards it. So how we see something actually dictates the actions in which we take towards it. So if we see something differently, then how we behave towards it will also change, right? And I'll give you the greatest example. Imagine this scenario. Imagine somebody goes to therapy over the span of a few months, figures out the particular issue that has burdened them for so long. They quote unquote heal from this situation. Does their life experience change, or the way in which they interpret the experience? Their life experience stays the same. It's the interpretation which they assign to experience that changes. So what is it that really changes? Their perspectives, their paradigms in which they perceive the experience from shifts, right? To serve them and how they see life. So the singular piece of wisdom that can transform an individual's life is perspective. And I'll give you many examples, starting off with the fear of failure. The issue with the fear of failure is the way that we perceive failure. Right? We see failure as something to fear and to avoid. However, an individual who wishes to overcome the fear of failure must understand that failure is a necessary part of life and a great way of giving you feedback on what you should work and improve on. Right? So that when you come across it in the future, you aren't stuck again. Take perfectionism. It's the way in which we perceive perfectionism. We only want to put out and show the world the most perfect version of ourselves. There is an absence of self-acceptance. Why? We haven't yet accepted ourselves. And how you would help somebody get over perfectionism is to change the way that they perceive to be perfect and define it as accepting your imperfection is what perfectionism is. Take fear of rejection. It's the way in which people perceive rejection. They fear rejection because of the meaning in which they assign to it. It is the way that they see rejection to be something that defines them instead of a mere experience. Take caring too much about what other people think. It is the way you perceive other people's opinion to be more valuable than your own. You see how perspective really changes the way you see things, which changes how you feel about it and how you act towards it. Take avoiding tasks. You avoid tasks. You avoid under the discomfort, the immediate discomfort you feel when doing something, but you fail to see the value it provides once you get past the discomfort. See how that's perspective? The reason why I started this channel was I came to the realization that the greatest gift man could give mankind is perspective. By shifting the paradigms in which an individual sees an experience, they can change the way in which they feel about it and act towards it, and then change their life and reality in general. That's why this channel is called KPOV. K's point of view, which is basically perspective. Right? So attaining perspective is transformative. And it's probably the singular piece of wisdom that could change anybody's life. If they could focus on anything, and the only thing they actually should be focusing on is perspective, how to change your perspective to better serve them. Whatever issue or obstacle that you're up against right now, it is not the issue of obstacle, but the way in which you perceive it. The difference between those who succeed in life and those who fail allow the obstacles to be a barrier, and they cannot see past it. But to have the perspective that you can overcome any obstacle that's in your way will make you relentless and successful in any venture that you go about. So the singular piece of wisdom that can transform an individual's life is perspective. So if you were to file every self-help video on the internet, every self-development video or advice on how to change your life, replace all of that with one thing: perspective. Change the way in which you see experiences, situations, and obstacles, and it will change the way you feel about them, how you act towards them, and it will change your life in reality. It's been your boy KPOV. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.